What's happening, good people? How we doing? How we doing on this Saturday morning? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Bajillion 124. 124. How we doing? How we doing? Let me get a sip of my coffee here. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. 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 It is March 15th, 2025. Time is 8:20 a.m. Saturday morning. We're gonna jump right into it. Bajillion 124. Let's get into it. Why are you always calling me that? Jacob asked while looking up at the man. Well, it's simple, Chili Bear. You saved my life. Came over to the house wanting a taste of Mama's famous Chili Bear icy. When you saw that something was terribly wrong, the house was on fire. And to think, you was just knee-high to a grasshopper. If it hadn't been for you, I would have been fried crispy, like some old cracklings. You wasn't even supposed to be out the house, but you took it upon yourself to go get what you wanted. Something you got in trouble for a lot back in the day. Now, your friend there is just plain old honey thief. If there's any kind of honey in the house, it ain't gonna be there for long. It ain't gonna be for long. The boy can go through a bottle of my best honey in 2 days, and that's only if he's pacing himself. And that's why you're the Chili Bear, and that one over there, he pointed to his grandson, is the Honey Bear. I remember that, Jacob said. I ain't had another Chili Bear. I hadn't had. We're gonna say ain't. I ain't had another Chili Bear since that day, Jacob thought about it. Not because I didn't want one, though. The two laughed. Okay. I think we can all agree that section needs some help. It's not on life support, but it needs some help. It needs some help, y'all. So we'll come back to it later on and do what we gotta do. But for now, we're gonna keep on trucking. Matter of fact, we're gonna make this black. This is Bajillion 125. We're gonna keep on trucking. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Let's all form a line so we can eat. So we can eat up, said Henry Wallace. After the group had all settled in, look, it's Saturday, y'all, and I got to go to work today. So that should tell you. That should tell you something right there. It's Saturday. I got to go to work. Look, when you want something, you got to keep on pushing. Let me repeat that, and I'll give you some examples. When you want something in life, you got to keep pushing because things are going to pop up. Things are going to happen to stop you, depending on who you are. But a lot of times, you're not just handed anything. Some people have the luxury of going through life, people just dishing out things to them, money, whatever. Free this, free that, a hookup over here. You want an extra biscuit. You want an extra chicken leg, whatever. Other people have to work. Now, when you get to a certain age and you've been trying, you should know that there's going to be barriers that pop up. I'm talking about myself now, but I'm also talking to you. I'm going to give you an example. I'm making this up off the top of my head, but you got to get 4 tires for your vehicle. You have 70,000 miles on your tires. You are riding around looking like your tires on your vehicle look like a cartoon vehicle off of Disney back in the early days when it was just flat, just bubble tires, no tread whatsoever. You slipping and sliding all over the place. You drifting, and you a 70-year-old grandma. You don't know nothing about drifting, but every time you drive somewhere and try to make a sharp turn in the rain, you drifting around the corner. Just drifting around the corner. You need tires. Now, You are making, you know, whatever you're making per week, per 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, a month, or whatever whatever. You don't have luxury money to buy tires, but you have decided to put your mind to it to get these new tires for your vehicle because you're tired of riding around looking like a clown car and drifting all over the place. Now, you get the $500 or whatever you need, 600, whatever tires cost these days, 700, I don't know. And all of a sudden something pop up. Bing! Hot water heater go out. Now the tire money is going on the hot water heater because you gotta have, it's wintertime, you gotta have heat. You gotta have hot water. What do? You keep on driving. No, you gotta make adjustments. You gotta, like I said, that's life. That's life, y'all. So, and that happens to all of us, or the majority of us. You gotta keep on trucking, and you gotta see it. You gotta see. You also gotta give. You also gotta give, because when you do receive that blessing, I'm not just gonna tell you a detriment or whatever you want to call that scenario I just gave you, without giving you a blessing or going through a blessing example. You file your income tax check, the IRS, they write you a letter back saying, hey, for the past 20 years you've been paying too much into your income tax. You've been paying too many taxes. This is a check for $25,000. Boom, $25,000 now in your pocket. Go get the tires first. First thing you should do is go get the tires. First thing. Don't get McDonald's. Don't go pay the light bill. Don't go pay back, Miss Janice down the street that you borrowed $200. Go get the tires first. Go get the tires first because you asked for the tires, the money. The money came. Go get the tires first. Then, second thing you do, don't go to Burger King. Don't pay Miss Janice back. Second thing you do is you give something to somebody for free. You give something to somebody for free. I don't care if you in Piggly Wiggly and that lady you see is trying to add up the numbers in her head to get these whatever, some pork chops, whatever she's trying to get, but you see that she's struggling, she don't have the money. Go ahead and put something in her hand, or go put something in your grandma's hand, or your mom's hand, or your auntie's hand, because you know they need the money. Then only then you take the rest of that money and you pay Miss Janice, and then you do other things. But don't blow it either. Don't go have a cookout every Friday. Don't go have a cookout every Friday. No, don't do that. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Okay. Let's all form a line so we can eat, said Henry Wallace. After the group had all settled in one single line, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, Lily, and Penny, Suge's youngest child and only daughter, began serving the food. From the very beginning, a nervous Penny dropped a piece of fried chicken on the floor. That's all right. That's just fine, said Suge in a fatherly tone. God made dirt that don't hurt. Let me see. God made dirt that don't hurt. Now put it in your mouth and let it work. He laughed, smiling. He gestured to his daughter, and in realizing the cue, she hurried to scoop up the drumstick and slapped it down on her father's awaiting plate. At this point, there were at least 20 people in attendance. The nosy Albertsons from down the street, a Christian couple who often invited themselves to any given occasion, were there. Bold people who'd scarf down a plate, have seconds, then take home 2 carryouts. Loopy and his wife, Maria, were there. The couple had recently moved to the neighborhood with Henry's help. When everyone, including the women, were seated, Henry gave thanks to the women who... When everyone was seated, excuse me, I had to sneeze, y'all. When everyone was seated. I gotta sneeze again. Thank you for all the bless yous. All right. When everyone was seated. You know what? I'm not getting any views at all without the music, but I write better without the music. You know, I'm getting I'm not getting any views, 0 views without the music. But I write better without the music, you know. All right, we'll keep on going though. When everyone was seated, Henry gave thanks to the women who'd served them, adding a joke about how Suge was used to eating off the floor. Penny smiled. One eye was on her dad, while the other surveyed the audience. With heads bowed, hats off, and cigar extinguished, Charleston Albertson began the grace. Dear God, we thank you for once again bringing together a gathering of good, wholesome folks. We give thanks, O Lord, for this lovely meal and ask that you bless it so that it provides the nourishment that our bodies need. We thank the wonderful sisters for serving us and the Wallaces for having us. Bless us, O Lord, and see to it that Mr. John White sees many more wonderful birthdays to come. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Time for some awa. Excuse me. Immediately afterwards, while stomachs began to rumble and while red cups were in the air, Henry gave a toast in tribute to Suge. I don't get that. Immediately afterwards, while stomachs began to rumble. All right. Because Charleston Albertson, he just prayed over the food. It wasn't a toast or why red cups in the air. Let's go ahead and get that gone. Immediately afterwards, while stomachs began to rumble, Henry gave a toast in tribute to Suge. So he joked about how the older man only had a few years left and how much of a pest he'd been over the years. In all seriousness, he pointed out that Suge had been, for the majority of their friendship, nothing less than an ally. That was a toast courtesy of Frederick Sr., initiated by an awkward tapping of a plastic fork against a plastic red cup. The cup was filled with mostly liquor, topped with Edna's lemonade. All right. Wow, this is some good stuff. The man kept his eyes on the cup. Eyes on his cup. It rose high. Okay. I'm gonna come back to this. This is, I said this 1,000 times. You know, this is a challenge. It's a challenge. Every now and then you gotta challenge yourself. Every now and then you gotta actually put in the work. And because we got a lot of people that's, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Boy, when I do this, when I get the thing that I've been trying to get, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to build that thing, and then this, and we're gonna be doing this over here and that. People, a lot of times, I hate to say it, but people are full of hot air, full of hot air, and that could be a good thing if you're putting that hot air in a balloon, and that balloon is moving up. But in many cases, people are full of hot air, and the balloon that they're trying to fill up has holes all in it. So they're just sitting on the ground, just putting all this hot air in this balloon, and they ain't going nowhere. You gotta take action. You gotta take action. And the only way you take action is just doing it. That one of my favorite logos in the world is just do it. Now I'm more of a Adidas person than a Nike person these days, but just do it. That remains my favorite logo, or you know, motto, whatever you want to call it. Motto. Just do it and take small incremental steps. Just take this one step at a time. Just one step at a time. This guy here has a limp, but just one step. You gotta take one step at a time. That's how you do it. One step at a time. What I mean by that, look, this story here is up to 26,118 words. I started this in 1999, y'all. But I'm back on it, and I'm taking one step at a time, and eventually it'll get done. Every book that I have written behind me, all 5 books behind me, 4 novels, 1 poetry book, I took it one step at a time. 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade at a time. That's how you do it. Whatever it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to build a house, 1 nail at a time. 1 board at a time. 1 step at a time. If you're trying to build a relationship with your child, 1 ice cream at a time. You know what I'm saying? 1 talk at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, you gotta take it. You just can't rush into things. We're living in a time where we want everything open, like quick, fast microwave. It don't work like that, y'all. I got some seeds in my backyard right now. I may bring them in today. I got to put my little greenhouse up. My son bought me a greenhouse. I'm going to put that up here in a second. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to put that up. And that's another thing. Keep your word. I'm telling you, I'm going to put my greenhouse up. I should show y'all what it looked like on the floor over there. It's a little greenhouse. It's not assembled, so keep your word. I don't care what your word is. I don't care if your word is just a thought. Try to keep that. It's power in keeping your word. When black men were saying back in the 90s in the hip hop community, black women, and Hispanics in New York, and I was saying, my word is bond. My word is bond. They were even saying that before then. But my word is bond. That means keep your word. Your word is powerful. And what I mean by that is, if I say I'm going to sit down and write for 10, 15 minutes every day, the more I do that, the easier it becomes. If I say I'm going to put this, I'm pointing to it right now, my little greenhouse together, as soon as I'm done with this, and I actually do that, I just made that bond in my word is my bond, made that stronger. It's magical. So then you go on to do bigger things like, yeah, I'm gonna get a master's degree. You may say that when you're a teenager in high school or a preteen in middle school, whatever. I'm gonna get a master's degree in whatever. It makes it that much easier, because according to your word, you bring things into fruition. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're saying things like, yeah, I'm going to be an astronaut, and you're not even taking strides to even graduate high school, what's the likelihood of you making it to astronaut, NASA, SpaceX, whatever status? So you can't just be saying a whole bunch of things and not following through with those things, because you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of broken promises to yourself and other people. Anyways, let's get back to it. Wow. This is some good stuff. The man kept his eyes on the cup as he lifted it above his head. My daddy ain't as good as you say, Hank. He slurred the word Hank. He ain't good at all. As a matter of fact, he was the worst daddy. As a matter of fact, he was the worst daddy ever. The worst daddy ever. Worse than me. When it was officially time to chow down. Okay. All right. All right, so here I'm gonna have to. You guys remember I cut out a lot of fat, and I'm gonna go revisit that fat right now because there's a section there I wanted to maybe. Okay, let me see. Entering the garage, in fact, walking next to him was a Patricia White, Penny. Seeing his father, Frederick, now properly inebriated, immediately stood and went to attention. He greeted his father in a comical salute. Boy, if you don't sit your stupid ass down, the burly man said. What? I'm just announcing to everyone that the birthday boy, I got your boy alright. Silk snapped again before taking a puff of his cigar. What's going on, Pops? Didn't get a chance to see you when I came out this morning. Out of thin air, the man pulled out a river and got it half empty. These days, the man didn't drink. Pouring enough. Let me be the first to toast Pops on his 7th. I want to get to the part where he whispers something. That's when it raised me. I was stumbling over his feet. 500 job Pops, 500. I might take that part. Yeah, let me take this part right now. Copy. Alright. Alright. That's some of the fat. We'll come back and fix it later. Let's go back here. There's a part where I took a sip, realized the toxic man. He said, oh, put it in the giant cup. Boy, that's enough, Shook said. Set it up, called it. Look, I'm only trying to liven up this born ass butter. I'll strike him toward his father's arms. Okay. What do you say? Give your only son a hug on a special day? Just before the man could get within striking distance, his daughter Lily entered the being. The girl has to stand on her toes. But it took so long. Alright. Now you know I'm getting old. Let's just keep it. Question is, as soon as my justice, somehow you got in the middle of all this. Your awareness is back there on the scene. Alright. It feels so unlike you. Man pulled in the box minutes before. Where's the part where he whispers? Sure, why not? Sure said. You owe me. Okay, yeah, right here. This is it. Taking a step forward as Lily moved with hesitancy to one side, Fred wrapped his arms around his father. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, okay, after the short but uncanny embrace, Fred gave the peace sign, adjusted his fedora. He's wearing a fedora? So that the back was angled farther up, then walked toward the cool to retrieve another beer. Shug, now visibly shaken, looked to his granddaughter for baby, please don't ever be like your daddy. I won't, she replied. Okay, baby. Now you know I ain't got no other choice but to believe you. Yeah, I know. Did you have work late? Alright. So let's go here. You're gonna take it back. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy all this, close this, and paste it right here. Okay. Alright, let's go back for a second. Paste. Alright. Okay. As a matter of fact, he was the worst daddy ever. Worse than me. The air being let out. The air had been let out. The air had been let out of the room. Everyone, including Shug, had a look of complete and utter disappointment. Frederick moved closer to his father. A toast. You see, he already made a toast, didn't he? Good stuff. The man kept his eyes on the cup. My daddy ain't as good as... Okay. Alright. That was a toast courtesy of Frederick Sr. initiated by an awkward tapping. Alright, so we're gonna start it up right here, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna start it up right here. We're gonna leave it off right here. So this is where I stop. No, this is where we're gonna go. This is go time right here. Yeah, so Hey, it is what it is, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for stopping by again. This has been Bajillion 124. Till next time, hit that like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. This is Anthony L. Kelly. I'm out.